What's going on, guys? Zoomies here. Coming at you today with a build guide, a build showcase. I've remade my main character, Zoomies. With the upcoming second character patch, I needed to pick a main account. This is the main that I'm going with. It's not 100% finished right now, but I'm excited about the build, and I can't wait to show it with you guys in the community. I want to know what everybody thinks. I think it's pretty cool. It's got a good concept. It performs pretty well. Uh, and yeah, I wanted to share it with you guys. So the build is a Sheevra max size H31. I like stout. You could go fit. Gonna give you a little bit extra speed. You're gonna hit a little weaker with the sword. Um, we're a hybrid build. We take both elementalism and necromancy with 62 in EQ, 66 strength, 116 dex. This comes for trinkets. We'll get into that later. 101 con, min psi, 105 intelligence. We have 190 health, 350 stam, 121 mana. Right now, with trinkets charged, we're running at 444 speed, Vila stout speed. It's very good, pretty fast. We'll get into the primary points, but first, I just want to go over why these stats are important. 116 dex. This is a crucial number for this build. Why 116 dex? Okay. So if you see we're running at 444, we take off 1 raw dex, 115, we're running at 442. So this 116 breakpoint gives us 2 speed for 1 raw dex, but it also puts us at that golden number of 444, which is Vila speed. The Vila is going to be this build's number one nemesis. The reason why this build is, I would say, a veteran, quote-unquote veteran build, is because you need to be able to foot fight. You need to be an above-average foot fighter to play this build. The way this build is played, at least by me, you don't have enough mana to just play mage. You need to be able to play footy as well. This build is running in and out of the fray, and you have a lot of advantages in a lot of different situations. And I'm going to kind of go through some of those at the end with some random thoughts once we get through the action skill trees. So let's get into the action skills here. We're taking 100 Vitalism. We're wearing primarily light armor. Right now I think I have plate scales Iron Silk on with a plate scale Iron for torso. This torso is always what you want to wear. This torso is tanky. 51 blunt on plate scales with Iron Fur is very, very tanky, especially in today's meta. With the amount of axe using Thursars, mace using Ogmirs, and mace using Vilas, you're really going to want to have a beefy chest on this build. At 2.74 kgs, it's not too heavy. 51 blunt, it's fucking good. It's fucking good. You're basically in steel, Iron Fur with 51 blunt. Right? The rest, you're probably going to want to go light. High slash, high pierce on the arms, high slash on the legs. This head, I don't really love this head. I'd probably go Rizar, Iron Fur head, same as the chest. You want the high blunt on the head, because if you take a two-hand axe to the head, holy shit is it going to chunk you. Especially if you're talking like the upper materials, Tendremic Messing, Tungsteel, God forbid Ogmium, you might get bagged if you don't have good blunt defense. Then we go into mental training. We take all of mental training, 100 mental training, 100 mental offense, 100 mental focus, 100 concentration. Want this all maxed out. This is just going to make our spells effective. Blocking. We need 100 blocking. We need 100 blocking. We need 100 defensive stance. It's non-negotiable on this build. 66 strength, you get chipped too hard. You get chipped way too hard. Like we were saying earlier, with the mace, with the blunt meta right now, maces, axes, blinkers, if you have anything less than 100 blocking and 100 defensive stance, are going to chip you for like 10 plus from any class with max strength with one-handed mace or one-handed axe. It's crazy. The scaling on defensive stance is breakpoints. At least that's how it feels. Correct me if I'm wrong, but defensive stance only hits its breakpoints at 100, 67, or 66, 33, and 1. I don't think anything before in between those skills do anything. You will feel a massive difference in your tankiness between 99 and 100 defensive stance. There's no point in 80, there's no point in 50. You want 66 or 33 or 100 or get it out of there. Aggressive stance. I can actually lose a stat there. 66. I'm just trying to get that +2 flat and that +3% extra melee damage. That's all I want. I want that flat. That's why defensive stance is so good. You want that flat. Resting 100, athletics, sprinting, armor training 34. If you have a cranked necklace, you could lower this, depending on what your necklace is. Right? If you got a lot of money to throw into this build, you can stretch points. You can do a lot of things. Survival 84. 84 survival. I have 50 spect. 34 is coming from my neck. I like high survival on my neck. This build and water is like peanut butter and jelly. It's fucking amazing. You can secure 1vx if there's water, and it's not even really that hard. If there's water, this build is like the most forgiving build in the game. Because you're basically a footy in light armor. When you have Ockbond up, you're very, very tanky. I don't have Necrospect right now, but when you have Ockbond up, 15% flat damage is going to make this build surprisingly tanky if you're in an upper echelon gear. So the survivability on this build is amazing. Survival and swimming make this fucking build just, S tier plus survival. The trinket charges on this build are super expensive to run, but I'm barely dying, especially in the places that I'm playing on this build. I'm in MK a lot. The MK sewers for this build, running around, running away from red players, running away from fucking 5-man squads all the time, doing loops in water, diving, swimming, shocking out of the water. God forbid one of these idiots follows me in. They're almost always dead. Survival, amazing. Okay. Combat maneuvering. Feint. Really need feint on this build. You need to unlock it as soon as possible. I'm still leveling this build. I just unlocked feint. Super bad mistake. Should have unlocked it like right away. Blocking endurance also super important. Your stam's going to be an issue. Low strength. Even swinging the steel great blade, not even a heavy great blade, even if it's light, flakestone, 1.92. Trust me, you're going to feel it. Especially if your jumping's not maxed. You're going to feel it. Especially doing triple feints with a jump. You're going to feel it. Endurance 100. Endurance is a super slept on skill. One, endurance gives you more stam. It gives you what seems like less stam drain doing any action. And passive regen, right? You might think 10 health every minute, that fucking sucks. No, it doesn't suck. Think about it like this. For every minute the fight goes, you have 10 more health, alright? So if the average mortal fight that you get in lasts 3 minutes, right? I have 220 health. Without endurance, nothing. Endurance saves you. Subsisting saves you. Alright, domestication. Taming. 31 taming. Useless fucking points. Convenience only. If you're a new player, I'd recommend it. I mean, you shouldn't be playing this build as a new player, but if you're a new player and you are playing this build, I guess take 31 taming, because if your horse gets killed out in the world, like, you basically just want to fucking kill yourself and ghost back to wherever you are if you're a vet, because you don't give a fuck about the gear sets. But everybody knows the map's ginormous. It's huge. Taming's a convenience thing, but it sucks. I actually hate this skill. I love all my tamers. Shout out to Kerr. But fuck taming, man. Fuck pets. I don't even want to tame horses. That's how much I hate pets. 31 taming. Useless for this build. It's going right into necromancy tomorrow. Tomorrow for me, it's going right into necromancy. Talk to the tutor in Haven. Take taming out of Haven just for the convenience of taming horses out in the world where you're leveling. But once this build's leveled, man, you have no use for taming. This is a convenient skill. This is an outdoor skill. No serious PvPer should have 31 taming. It's a waste of 31 points. This is helping you in no team fight. This is helping you in no dungeon. You are letting the boys down with 31 taming. Unless that shit is 100 and you are taming all of us fucking Campedons and short prowlers and fucking turtles, get this shit the fuck out of here. Taming sucks. You don't want that. You don't want that. Walk like a man. Get those big legs. Makes you fast. Ogmir's like Vila Anatomy's okay, right? I get it. The average everyday player, you don't have kegs, you don't have heal over time food, you're not fucking chugging these Sea-Doo pods like it's nobody's business, right? Like, Anatomy's good. Anatomy's good, especially when you're fast, and especially when you can swim, and it can save you mana, right? Anatomy can heal you for around 40 to 45 with bandage in the water. You know, that's 1.5 lesser heals, a little bit less than 1 greater heal. It can save you a little bit of mana. Is it the best 90 points to put into this build? Absolutely not. I don't think you should do it. And coming from like a veteran build perspective, you'd rather have the 100 points in potion utilization anyway, other than anatomy. But because it is a fast build, and I know it's hard as a new player to like fight the fucking urge to battle bandage, anatomy can be an option. I'm gonna leave it as an option for this build. I don't recommend it, but it can be an option if like you really can't play without it. Range combat, archery, fucking dog. Don't get that. Swords, 100. Obviously, we're trying to do fucking damage. Magic schools, okay. 62 ecumenical. There's an option for 100 ecumenical, right? You're gonna have to play around with the points. 18 necro spells. This is going to 70 for Akbond. Akbond is gonna round this whole build out. It's gonna make me 15% tankier, right? I'm gonna get Death Hand and walkers if I need to use them. I'm gonna play around with them a little bit. I've never really used them. Death Hand, amazing skill. Akbond. If your build can get Akbond Immortal Online 2 right now, currently, you should get Akbond. It is the most broken shit in the game. Starvault, if anyone from Starvault watches this video, you guys need to nerf Akbond by like 10%. 10%. It's fucking busted. The way you guys scaled it, the math is busted. You're scaling the defensive stance plus the armor values plus the natural defense of your character all with one fucking ability. And it doesn't transfer the 15% damage to the pet correctly, even with the new patch. So Akbond is completely broken. It's the best skill. It's single-handedly the best spell in the game. It's the best buff in the game. You should use it. You should use it. If you can fit it in your build, which every single fucking build in the game can, 70 points, it's a no-brainer. Anyway, there's my Akbond rant. Nerf Akbond. 80 elementalism spells. This is for Shock. This is so worth it, man. Shock is a godsend. In the water, Shock is S tier plus. You need to be a little careful with allies because you can chain to your allies, and it does do big damage, especially against steel targets. But Shock does bonus damage in the water. It does bonus damage against metal targets, which rounds the build out perfectly. Because the hardest thing for this build to kill, high geared Vila Vilas, right? Ogmirs that are high geared with potions. It's hard to kill those two classes. You really need to stretch the Ogmir out with corrupts. Wait for the opportune time to like corrupt, have a full mana bar, land like corrupt, fulminate, shock, and kill him. Right? Shock's mana efficiency and cast time lets you within 120 mana bar take somebody from 100 to 0 with just magic while being able to miss a couple times. It's very forgiving. With Death Hand, this build will round out so much. There's so many scenarios where I am just like in melee range with like a parry god where I could just hit him with a Death Hand and be done with it. Anyway, Death Hand's going to come from taming. We're going to nerf taming, right? And that should be enough for me to get 70 Death Hand with the points I have left over. I might have to take like 10 out of endurance, but it's not too big of a deal. My trinkets and where the goals of this, where the floor is and where the ceiling is of this build. Okay, so right now I feel like I am at the floor of this build. I think minimum to run this build, you need 2 rings that are giving you a total of +4 raw dex to put you up to the speed of what a Vila will be at your weight class, and enough slashing damage to get you to a decent point. So if we look at this, we have 3 slashing here, 3 slashing here, and 2% melee damage bonus. Effectively, I'm at 8% melee damage bonus. That's low. A Vila is at 13%. Now, the ceiling of this build would be, ideally, you want 2 rings like this with 9% or higher slash, right? Dream ring, maybe you have like 8 mana on this with like 4 raw dex, 9 slash, 8 mana with some health. Oh my god, that'd be toasty. It's gonna cost you a lot, but that'd be toasty. Keep your eye out for these. These can get bought up. Reroll rings that look like this. right? People say, some raw stats, low slash damage, a little bit of health, it kind of sucks, but for this kind of build, something like this is actually really useful. If I could get another gold topaz that's like exactly like this, but again, higher slash, two of those, it's going to be amazing. The amulet, 34 survival, love survival. I did my little swimming rant. It's great. 13 necro spells. Need a little bit of points, so I need my necro spells here. Slash defense, blunt defense, always good. Ideally, like really end game necklace. If you had like a golden ruber and you had like max pierce defense, max slash defense, or max blunt defense with like necro mana reduction to give you an extra death hit and maybe some necro damage, that'd be perfect. But yeah, I don't know if I missed anything. I'm going to play some PvP clips for you guys, and hopefully you like the build. I worked on it a lot with the guild theory crafting and kind of like going over, you know, what would be good, what wouldn't be good. Immortal Online 2, you run into a lot of things where like it's good in theory, but it really sucks in practice, and vice versa. And yeah, we came up with this. This is the Zoomies build. We're dubbing this the Sith Lord build. And hey, we're jumping into the PvP. I hope you guys enjoy.
focus mode, bro. You just gotta find him. Yeah, you just gotta find him. He's killing.
Shock. Yo! Yeah, and then by the end, he's like, "You guys are actually like pretty decent fighters."